Good morning, America. Bill Clinton and Donald Trump face off overnight.
Let's say Hillary is president.
It's kind of scary this year.
Clinton taking jabs at the GOP frontrunner, and Trump on the defensive over that new campaign ad.
The East in a deep freeze this morning, the coldest air of the season, sending temperatures plunging below zero, wind chills even colder, and the West slammed by storms. 8 states on alert right now as El Nino set to bring downpours, flash flooding, and mudslides.
A wild shootout on the highway caught on camera. A violent chase shutting down one of the busiest freeways in Southern California during rush hour. How police finally stopped a murder suspect on the run.
And a galaxy far, far away on GMA, with Star Wars about to become the biggest movie ever. This morning we take you to one of the hidden worlds where it was filmed. The icy place behind the hottest hit right now.
Live in Times Square. This is Good Morning America.
And Good Morning America. You know, I love that music.
I know.
So many spectacular, otherworldly landscapes in Star Wars. You see it right there. And now people are actually going and flocking there to visit these places. Amy, on her way to one right now. We're going to hear from her in just a little bit.
And with Amy on a very special assignment, it's good to have Tom Yamas here with us this morning. We're going to begin with a race for the White House. Donald Trump and Bill Clinton going head-to-head on the campaign trail overnight. The GOP frontrunner going after the former president. ABC Cecilia Vegas is here. And Cecilia, the race heating up with just, 27 days now to go for the first votes.
Oh, but who's counting, Rob?
Yeah, exactly.
Good morning to you. All eyes on Iowa. Those caucuses there right around the corner. A sign that this race is hotter than ever. Take a listen to this. Bill Clinton has been in Donald Trump's direct line of fire for a few days now. But finally, the former president is speaking out for the very first time.
Overnight, Donald Trump stirring up this crowd of thousands with a 1-2 punch.
Hillary. Let's say Hillary is president.
And just a few miles away,
It's kind of scary this year.
Hillary Clinton's husband on his first solo campaign trip this election, taking some not-so-subtle jabs right back.
When there is discrimination against African Americans or Hispanics or Muslims just because of who they are, I don't like that.
Bill Clinton not mentioning Trump by name or his recent tactic dredging up those past scandals.
This is a woman that has been really an enabler, and that's not a good situation for Hillary.
So I asked.
Donald Trump says your past is fair game. I've got to ask you, you keep coming up on the trail with him. Is it fair game?
And after a long pause, finally an answer.
The Republicans have to decide who they want to nominate. I'm trying to tell now the Democrats in the country why I think Hillary would be the best president. And I think there's always attempts to take the election away from the people.
Trump taking his offensive to the airwaves, too.
And he'll stop illegal immigration by building a wall on our southern border that Mexico will pay for.
His first campaign ad just released and already under fire. This image of a flood of immigrants racing toward what appears to be the U.S. border in Mexico. But it turns out this border 5,000 miles away in Morocco. Trump now on the defensive.
That was just video footage. It's just display of what our country is going to look like. We're like a third world country. We're a dumping ground. So you can just take it any way you want.
For her part, Hillary Clinton trying to stay above the fray with the new Donald Trump strategy in the new year.
I've adopted a New Year's resolution. I'm going to let him live in his alternative reality, and I'm not going to respond.
Okay, Cecilia, so you see that New Year's resolution from Hillary Clinton, and you could feel Bill Clinton biting his tongue when you asked him that question.
Yeah, he seemed to pause. Look, he seemed to be staying on message yesterday. This might be the Bill Clinton of the 2016 race. We talked yesterday about how he got in trouble in 2008 for going off message. This time around, I think you're probably going to see a more subdued Bill Clinton, at least for the time being. The words that are being used this morning is that he very much knows his role this time around, that he is, in fact, the supporting actor if she is the star of this show.
Okay, let's talk about that now with Matthew Dowd, our political analyst. And Matthew, you think actually that Hillary should make another New Year's resolution not to use Bill Clinton that much?
Yeah, I think she should actually leave Bill Clinton at home in the course of this. One, we all know he's popular. The problem is he reinforces with the voters that she is part of the past. Even if you like that past, it's part of the past, and voters always want the future. The other thing I think is this helps Donald Trump in the Republican primary. It helps him because Hillary Clinton is despised by Republican voters, and it's a bank shot through Bill to get to Hillary. That's why I think in the end, in the short term, this helps Donald Trump.
So he's attacking Bill Clinton. Meanwhile, you see all these other Republican candidates in this final 4 weeks until the Iowa caucuses really starting to attack each other.
Yeah, we're in the time of the thing where it's musical chairs, but there's no teacher in the classroom to keep the rules. More chairs have been pulled out. There's limited space to see who can stay in the game. But now we have green eggs and ham. We have fantasy football. And so we're at that time where there's limited chairs and people are trying to dance around and get the last few chairs remaining before Iowa and New Hampshire.
And the real grudge match you're seeing is this one between Ted Cruz, now leading in Iowa, and Marco Rubio, another 44-year-old Cuban-American senator. They really seem to be fighting it out for that space right behind Donald Trump overall.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump is still the dominant character in this race, but somebody needs to be second or somebody needs to be third in the course of this race. And you have two brand new senators going at it, as you say, in the course of this. And I think it's only going to get more and more heated as we get closer to Iowa and as we leave Iowa into New Hampshire and the other states along the way. This is going to be a very heated race between the two of them.
No question about that. Matthew Dowd to see Vega. Thanks very much. Let's go to Robin.
Okay there, George. Now to President Obama's big push to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. The president addressing the nation later this morning from the White House, announcing actions he hopes will reduce gun violence. All this without the help from Congress. ABC's senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington with details. Pierre, what exactly is changing today?
Good morning, Robin. With the stroke of a pen, the president is potentially greatly expanding the universe of people who should consider themselves as federal gun dealers and, as a result, require background checks on their gun sales. We're talking about hundreds, if not thousands, of people who are now selling firearms at gun shows or online. The White House is essentially saying if you're routinely getting income from gun sales, you should consider yourself a commercial dealer. Those who violate this mandate, selling guns with no background checks and without registering with the federal government, are subject to 5 years in jail and a $250,000 fine, Robin.
What would be the possible impact of this, Pierre?
While there's some question as to whether there are enough federal agents to enforce these new guidelines, proponents will say this could mean many more background checks on gun purchases, catching people who fell through the cracks, and opponents will say this just puts more burden on gun lovers who like to sell weapons. Robin?
Okay, Pierre, thank you. And ABC will have live coverage of President Obama's announcement on gun control later this morning. Expected to be around 11:40.
Around 11:40. We're going to move on now to that rough start to the new year on Wall Street, coming off the worst opening since the financial collapse of 2008. You see the numbers right there. The Dow down almost 300 points. Our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is at the New York Stock Exchange this morning. And Rebecca, worries about China sparked the sell-off yesterday. What's the forecast today?
Good morning, George. And we are looking at another volatile day here overnight in China. Stocks did sell off again. And the stock market here in the United States is setting up for a day down at least 100 points. The big issue right here, as you say, is China. Fears of a slowdown in the world's second largest economy having a ripple effect on the United States and other global economies. Second, issues with oil. Now, oil prices are near the lowest levels they've been in years, and that's great news for consumers, but it's bad news when it comes to energy companies and the jobs that those energy companies create, George. It's all setting up for a volatile day here on Wall Street.
And a rough start to the year means a rough start for the year?
There is an old saying, George, here on Wall Street, as January goes, so goes the year for stocks. The good news is that there are still 18 trading days left in January to really set the tone for the year.
Plenty of time. Okay, Rebecca, thanks very much.
Always optimistic. Now to that standoff in Oregon, authorities and residents there are telling the armed militiamen who seized federal land to leave, but they are not backing down. And ABC's Neil Karlinski spent time inside that wildlife refuge. Good morning, Neil.
Robin, good morning. The group has now spent 3 frozen nights inside the compound, which is just on a dirt road back there. It's not exactly a glamorous place to hold a siege, and so far, despite calls for others to join their cause, their numbers have not been growing. This morning, for the first time, authorities are publicly telling an armed group of ranchers here in rural Oregon to pack up and get out.
It's time for you to leave our community, go home to your families, and end this peacefully.
The group, which now calls itself Citizens for Constitutional Freedom, is holed up inside this federal wildlife sanctuary, land they seized while no one was here.
This van's been coming and going a lot. Seems like some of their supplies.
We were allowed inside to see where they sleep and prepare meals. And we found this man who posted this emotional goodbye to his family before joining up.
My daughters, Maddie and Lily, I love you so much. Your daddy swore an oath. He swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution.
Inside, his views were the most sobering of anyone we met.
But do you fear that this could turn into something serious enough that you would not be able to return to your family?
There's always that chance. I'll tell you right now, though, nobody here will fire that first shot. We will protect ourselves, but that's not what we want.
The group says they're fighting for nothing short of the liberation of thousands of miles of federal land, which they believe should be returned to America's ranchers. Their initial cause, outrage over the conviction of fellow ranchers who turned themselves into federal prison Monday for setting fires on public land, was just the beginning of a string of grievances.
There are no police anywhere near here, and so far sources have indicated that because the area is so incredibly remote, authorities are in no hurry to do anything but watch and wait, George.
They could be hunkered down for a long time. Okay, Neil, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to the fight against ISIS and the hunt for this masked man from the terror group's latest execution video. Authorities trying to determine the identity of this new jihadi John, and ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross here with the details. Good morning, Brian.
Well, good morning, George. U.S. and British authorities today are closely studying this latest ISIS propaganda video, frame by frame, trying to identify the new English-speaking executioner who's now taken the place of the terrorist called Jihadi John, who was killed last year in a U.S. drone strike.
Behind the black mask, the ISIS 2016 version of evil personified, speaking with a British accent.
And we will continue to wage jihad, break borders, and one day invade your land.
Since the release of this 10.5-minute video, which shows the execution of 5 supposed British spies, U.S. and British officials have been analyzing it in detail, looking at the physical build, the eyes, and the speaking voice and accent of the new ISIS executioner, who calls British Prime Minister David Cameron an imbecile.
Only an imbecile would dare to anger a people who love death the way that you love your life.
Among the possible suspects is this well-known British radical, Siddhartha Dar, who fled to Syria and ISIS a year and a half ago.
We are here to call for...
After he and his mentor, the radical London cleric Anjem Choudhury, were arrested by Scotland Yard on charges of supporting terrorism.
The jihad is not, a bad thing.
Dar was interviewed by ABC News correspondent Lama Hassan in 2014 as he urged young Muslim men in London to push for Sharia law.
I think that will be the beginning of the end of the United States of America, of Britain, of Europe, and the entire world.
A side-by-side comparison of Dar and the new ISIS executioner is far from conclusive. His family says it's not sure it's him. Some reporters who have interviewed Dar say it is him, and others say it is not. But one person in the video who has been identified by his family is this young English-speaking boy, who ISIS shamelessly uses to call for the killing of disbelievers.
A London cab driver has now told British reporters that that young boy is his grandson, the child of his daughter who went to Syria to marry an ISIS fighter, and has used the little boy repeatedly in social media propaganda on behalf of ISIS.
That
George.
is just horrific.
Isn't
Okay,
it?
Brian, thanks very much. Let's get today's other top stories from Tom Yamas. You're in for Amy today, and you're starting with this real nightmare for commuters in L.A.
That's right. Good morning, guys. We start with some dramatic video from one of the busiest freeways in Southern California. Interstate 5 was shut down during evening rush hour as police opened fire, shooting a suspect wanted for a string of violent crimes, including murder. He had driven the wrong way down the freeway and crashed into a car with a family inside. He was rushed to the hospital. He's in critical condition right now. And a former South Carolina police officer charged in a deadly shooting last April has been released from jail. Michael Slager was seen on camera shooting Walter Scott. You may remember this video. Who was unarmed at the time. Slager has been freed on $500,000 bond and is now under house arrest awaiting his murder trial. Overseas, growing tensions between Saudi Arabia and Iran are threatening to derail peace efforts in Syria. The tensions stem from Saudi Arabia's execution of a Shiite cleric, which outraged Iranians and led to Sunday's attack on the Saudi embassy in Tehran. The Saudis have now cut all ties to Iran.